Hello, this is my reflection of the formative assessments I used this week based on Activity 2. The first thing is I had to tell my class about formative versus summative assessment. I found this very weird. I think they just didn't care at all, and maybe it's just the way I was nervous to tell them. I don't really know why. I tell them all the time, like, this is practice, this is why we do it, I want to be here to help you. But to, like, bust out the formative assessment, summative assessment words, it felt weird to bring out that vocab. I'm like, look at me, I'm doing good teacher things, and I don't know. I'm going to shy away from that entirely, to be honest. Things that I did this week for formative assessment, I tried to think about this weekend about, like, using Kahoots or all the other things we listed in your pods, but it just wasn't a good week for it. I think a lot of those things are used with PowerPoints, and then when you go through a lot of content, you want to be able to, like, check them as you go, but I didn't have a lot of, like, content heavy stuff. I did a lot of content, but it was things where I would talk a little, like 2 slides talking about images, and then do a practice problem, and then they did a practice problem. So I stuck to, like, what I normally do, to be honest. And one thing I did do a little bit different is here's my homework check. They did a mass spec kind of practice problems on their own at home, right here, and then I had them work in their groups. These are their houses. I'm gamifying AP Chem this year, so these are the different houses that they could be a part of, and in their house they came up with the answers, and they sent in the answers. And I got to see that, yep, they're right on track. I mean, all the answers were great. I didn't have any groups I really had to go to. I had a couple questions that they put in the bottom. I was able to address that one group, the 2 groups that needed that, and other than that, that was good. So, maintain the course is what I got from that one. And then the other one that I did was something today. I've been using AP practice questions all the time when I taught AP last year. And I'm using it again this year, but I'm using it kind of a different way. So I did, I guess, a lecture, but not very much lecture. I did like a demo representing what Bohr's model is and a demonstration, and then I did a practice problem for them, and then this was their practice problem to do for me. So then they did the problem on their own, and I had them go work on a computer simulation in the back of the room as I was walking around their classroom looking at their notebooks that they left behind. So what was good about that is I could look at individual things. In this mass spec one that I turned in, they worked in their groups, so they kind of answered their questions for each other, but I don't really know for sure what individuals might need. But doing this second way, I was able to see each student's paper, which is something I prefer, and I could really see who needed help and who didn't. Again, I can stay the course from my information. Anything that would happen that was wrong is they forgot units or their sig figs were wrong, which is very minor. Everyone got the main concept for sure, minor issues that I deal with. So once again, I can stay the course. That's what my formative assessment told me. Yeah, so what I want to do this year with formative assessment, I think, is I do these AP problems all the time, but to be honest, I got more 2s on my AP test last year than I wanted to. And I think that's because those students might be, well, I just don't want to lose them in the trap. So I like having these formative assessments where I can see each individual's, and in that way I know exactly what kid to talk to. And what I'm trying this year is gamifying it, which means this formative assessment, these questions that I'm giving them, every time they get it right, and like AP right, so you have to get 100% right in order to get that question, that point. If they get that right, then they're going to earn pieces to this game I've created, and the pieces will be individually earned, but then all the pieces will be collected in a team, and those pieces they're going to be using to create, well, this big battle scene at the end. It's kind of intense, and I think it's going to be fabulous. So I'm hoping that some of the 2s, I can have them work really hard on these problems, and not only, I think sometimes they'll do these problems and be like, I think it's something like this, and they don't try that hard because they're not getting a grade on it. Although I don't think they should get a grade on it, but I want them to have a different kind of incentive on wanting to do well. The smart kids and the really high flyers are always going to put in their best effort, but maybe my AP 2s aren't going to always put in their best effort, and I'm hoping gamifying is going to bring a little kind of incentive to those who may not otherwise feel incentivized to do well on it. So far, stay in the course. Formative assessment told me that.